sports coverage of the National Football League from Orlando, Florida. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Black Knights of Orlando.
Harrison Mevis to kick off.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Mevis, out to get us started.
And we are underway from the City Beautiful. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. But you look at this defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now Hurts is going to do it himself. And he is caught. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Hurts to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good.
Early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10.
Here's Milton now to throw. He'll swing this out to Blue.
And he's got room. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Here's Milton. That's complete to DK.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And it's caught. Touchdown.
Adnan Mitchell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Black Knights will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. At their own 26-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Kamara up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
When you look at this defense,
now they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
A loss of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Easy, 63, back. King, Phil King.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 9.
Great. Go Silver. Anyway, Carlos Yanni. 63, 6.
Throwing is Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
They'll head out of bounds inside the 10, mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Great. Set.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
As larger been the air attack has gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
Great. Set. Trimmer.
Kamara trying again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Hey, let's go. Trimmer.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion, and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it, because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all, but were they aggressive on that one?
Hey, Silver. Delta.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Well, Charles certainly circled that play. We might have to revisit it later. They had 3 in their back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal and throw the pick.
Well, you know, we're still in the first half. A bold call nonetheless. And I guess the book might have said take the 3, but it looks like they burned the book and just said give me the analytics. And the analytics said go for it. Didn't work out.
To throw, it's Milton. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
Throwing right, and that's complete. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown.
And the Black Knights are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14. Commanders nothing. Harrison Mevis to kick off.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. It's Deonte Banks with it.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Now Milton.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 24-yard line.
They go play action with Hurts.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time, but nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Hurts.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
They'll drop to throw. And got his man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
And the Commanders first down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Jennings, a receiver in motion right. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
73.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown. Tommy Tremble.
39 yards.
And the Commanders are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
As they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception.
Picked off by DJ Reed. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
What a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Hey, 73. Hey, easy, 63, back.
Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts. And that is incomplete.
A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by McManus is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To throw is Milton. Open man down the field. This is Mitchell. And touchdown! And Mitchell as the first half is winding down. And the Black Knights will extend their lead here just before halftime. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. It's Deonte Banks with it. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
That's going to be incomplete. But the razzle-dazzle will not work out. It's second down. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Throwing is Milton. And that one drops down incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
18, hide here. Ready? Bronco 80, 19 Lions.
Milton. And it's complete to Mitchell. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 42. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. 60 Panther 11, Panther 11. Go.
They'll look to throw again. That's another one complete to Mitchell. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two. Shy of the 30. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Back to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown.